Did that again. Hey, guys. Welcome to Monday Night Chat. I decided as soon as I got the painting done today, I'll go live. So when I say this is a wet canvas, it is a very wet painting. It just got done maybe 30 minutes ago or so. Take a few 20. Just long enough to wash the brushes, which, as you can tell, I still have paint stains. I thought I got all of it off. Got it off one hand completely. I must have touched something with the other one. Update on how I'm doing physically to start out the chat. I am still very tired. I'm trying to stay motivated. I did take an hour nap today, which I haven't been taking naps, but I did take an hour nap today. I had physical therapy evaluation, and I went on the first walk that I've had since, before I got sick. So, about a week before I got sick, I quit going on the walks because we had a COVID case inside the building, and so we were in our rooms, so that's how we know a staff gave it to me and quite a few other people, is because we were in our rooms, not around anybody but staff. And so I hadn't walked. And so I walked maybe 3 rooms. And I've been walking from one end of the building to the other, the rest stop in between, sitting down, and then walking about a quarter of the way back. So I didn't even make it halfway down the hall today. And I was exhausted. That was as far as I was going. So we got a long way to go for me to get totally recovered. Oh, hi. Hey. Occupational therapy is going to do an evaluation tomorrow. I've been telling them about my arm going numb and the shoulder pain, and there's a possibility that I've done something to a nerve in my left hand. That is the hand I hold the tripod, but it's not just then, it's when I'm sleeping and everything. It goes up my arm and into my finger is numb, and they think it might even be the chair, so we might have to work on something with the chair arm. I got a hold of the medical supply company about my wheelchair, and they're still acting like they're not going to cover the chair. I know, baby steps. I'm promising you. That's the reason I'm doing these chats, not just about the pictures, but doing updates. I'm trying to share a little bit more without sharing everything. So you all didn't see me, I'm not doing these all-day vlogs, but it is kind of fun to be accountable. And that's sort of like what today's picture was. It was, I'm accountable, and I need that accountability. So I'm going to get the picture done and prove to myself I can do it and not rush it. Just take my time, but get it done in a day, because that's the goal, is a picture a day. Now, if I don't feel good, don't worry, I won't do one, but I was like, this one's an easy one to do, and I'm going to work on it, and if I don't get done, I'll go on at 5 o'clock and say I didn't get it done. But about 4 o'clock, it was finished, and I just had to clean up everything, so that was the good thing. And I figured out what I did yesterday during the chat. If you click on the thing, on the name, there's a way of putting someone in timeout. So, oh God, they're helping me so much. I'm not getting visitors. And so, you all are my visitors. It gives me a release, an outlet. I'm not talking to a wall. I'm talking to people. Most people here think I'm talking to a phone, so I look like I'm going crazy, but I'm not. It's very good for me. These daily vlogs are very, very helpful. And they give me that, like I said, that motivation today. You can't just stay in bed. You got to get up. You got to get your picture done. And that's what I did. I got up. I got the picture done. It looks pretty good. I did a sneak peek in the thumbnail. I still can't move the camera. If I move it right now, it says orientation's locked. Rotate back. So I don't know if you get, is it a tremble or treble? What is the thing that they use besides a tripod? Maybe that lets them move it easy, but this won't let me rotate. If I'm in this orientation, I'm in this orientation. And since the picture is vertical, I'm going to be in this direction so you can see the whole picture. So I don't know what I need to do. So maybe someone comes along, watches the videos, and can tell me. Oh God, it is, Fox. You have no clue how much it helps. Our abandonment in general has been the biggest thing for my health. We're going on 2016 was the very first art abandonment trip. And I've got the videos up on that. And it started in Louisville. And we went from Louisville to Indiana, cut back into Kentucky, went to Owensboro, cut back over into Indiana, and went into not Terre Haute, but the bottom city in Indiana, right near Owensboro. I can't think the name of it. Then we went into Illinois, went up to the Garden of Gods, and from there we went to Cairo, Illinois. Then we drove into Missouri, then back into Illinois, into Kentucky, into Tennessee. So that was the route we took to get to Tennessee. And there was 136 pieces that we abandoned on that first trip. And we actually laid out the long distance trip so that we could abandon these pieces of art. And we abandoned McDonald's and rest areas and different places at the Garden of Gods and different little pull-offs on the road. And anytime we had to go to the gas station, you gotta remember, it should have been like a 4-hour trip. It took 16 hours, but that included an hour in Owensboro taking pictures. I wish I could think of the town in inland Indiana. I can't think of it. I keep thinking Terre Haute, but it's below Terre Haute. Just go there all the time. And so, but we went into that town and went for like an hour in that town. They got the greatest park. That's the reason I'll think about it. I got tons of pictures from there, and I've done a bunch of abandonments there. Just from the life of me, can't think the name of the city. And then we did take and walk the Garden of the Gods. Now this was prior to me getting sicker. I was sick enough that I couldn't work. And I was not able to walk very far. But we were able, there was a, it was supposed to be a 1/4 mile walk, okay? Or a 30-minute walk is what it said. That was if it was slow. It took us like 3 hours. It took us 3 hours. And it was a loop. And so the guy that was our caregiver, he decided that he missed something and went back to try to see. And he's like, do y'all know that's just right there? And he like pointed, and it took us like a half an hour to go maybe 100 feet. It was something else. We did it. My partner lay down on the side of the mountain with her oxygen tank and fell asleep for 30 minutes because she wouldn't take it. It was just something else. But we gave away rocks on the trip, on that walk, and that was really cool. Kind of work I did before. Done a lot of jobs. I did photography for 10 years. I did traveling photography for that 10 years. I did film development, film processing, the whole processing of film, for 2 different companies. I did freelance photography, and as well as working for companies doing church and portrait photography, church photography, and portrait photography and nature photography. So my whole life, and then I still have tons, part of the video process comes from that photography. As I'm always trying to make sure, if you ever notice, if I see the camera going, I'm like, nope, it's got to have so much space, and it should be up like this. I just can't hold it up enough. That's the reason I need one of those different kinds of pods and some the one I got, because see, when this moves, it shakes, so I have to keep it low. Then the last 18 years, what was like, yeah, the first 10, I went to, okay, it was a theater major in college, well, in art administration with an emphasis in theater, a theater studio minor, an art history minor, and my I had a major. So I had my emphasis was in theater, but you had 2 minors. So my minors were in art history. So let's say this right. It was, and my major was art administration with an emphasis in theater, with a minor in art history and a minor in photography. So I was in school 6 years, a lot of schooling. Then got out of school for a while, went back to school when I got my job at the hospital, and got my master's degree. I have an MBA in healthcare management, and I spent 15 years working in the hospital, the last 6 as a manager in medical records. And I had like 126 employees, all 3 shifts, and 6 hospitals, and helped build their Epic computer system. Just was too much. It affected me. My body got real drained physically, And I've just gone further and further and further and further and further downhill since that beginning. Like I said, I'm in a chair now. I'm in a chair now. Well, I was in a chair for a year and a half, but I could still walk. Well, see, I was in a wheelchair for 5 years when I needed it for 3. And then a year totally dependent. Then I've been since May in it all the time except go to the restroom. But if you see my whole room, it's just steps. For me getting out of my chair to go to the bathroom is no more than 5 steps. So that's about when I'm walking independently. Any other walking that I do is assisted. I have someone on the side. Now, if you watched my update video from my 1-year anniversary of the fire, the last scene you'll see me getting up and walking across the room. That is a furthest distance in my room. It's probably 10 feet. So, yes, I can get up because that's just a short distance in my room. But once I go into the hallway, which I didn't go in the hallway, I have a belt on and someone pushing my chair behind me. So about 10 feet is what I can do without my chair. So a year not being able to, 9 months of not being able to walk, and now walking those 10 steps independently is a cool thing. And I was walking maybe 100 steps with assistance. Today I did about 20. It was very frustrating. I maybe even been doing 200 with assistance, and I did 20 today. So it was really disappointing. As I say, COVID kicked the boot, and the COVID kicked the boot. So, yeah, I loved working in the hospital. It was a lot of fun. I make sure I didn't miss anything. Now, Foxy, you said you're a nurse. Is that correct? Or I know you. I'm pretty sure that's what you were saying the other day. We just realized if you see it, I'm getting mask face. It's right here. And we have to be real careful because you'll see I'm getting my lupus face too. So my lupus face is on top of the mask face. So I get worried when I start seeing red here and here, because you can kind of see on my face that I'm getting the red all the way down and all the way down. So I'm pretty sure my lupus is really in a flare. And the medicine hydrochloroquine that they treat you for my lupus is impossible to get because of hydrochloroquine being used for everything else in the world now. And I was on hydrochloroquine for 3 years. So I'm not getting anything for any of my autoimmune diseases, which I have 3 autoimmune diseases. And so my body's fighting me from different angles. The lupus and the neurological disease are probably combined, probably done the most damage to my body. Now that I'm in a chair, I have a physical disability. But before then, I had a very invisible And I worked many years very sick. And I worked until I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. I worked 24/7, 365 days a year for 3 years. And for the last year of that, I was using a cane. Had someone else driving me to work, and if I had to do training off site, I had someone drive me to that. And then, so I had, oh, that's cool. Well, see, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was going. See, that's what I have is I have two main. I don't know if I call it two main anymore. I have gastroparesis, and the gastroparesis is caused by a neurological autoimmune disorder that's literally attacking nerves in my whole body. I have lupus, and I have trigeminal neuralgia, which I ended up. I hope you. Now I feel like I can smile, but I had to have the pain was so bad that we thought taking teeth might help. So we took my teeth to try to see if that would help a little bit with the trigeminal. I also have Meniere's disease. I have a Shari defect. God, I can't even tell you. Nurses laugh. I take like 45 pills a day just to stay functioning. The fire really has affected my breathing. That's the long-term effect from it. It's been the breathing. I got in the wheelchair this last time due to the sepsis and hadn't had my knees. I had done double knee replacements, and they had to take those out. Now I have spacers in both knees. And so the knees, the sepsis causing settling in my knees and me going 6 months before anyone would listen to me say there's something wrong with my knees. And then doing something about it is the reason I'm in the chair now. And so a lot of my illnesses are masked. You can't see them, but they're there. Yep. So me and you live in about the same kind of world, Foxy. My Meniere's is really bad. In fact, the Monday before they told me they told me on Tuesday I had COVID, but on Monday I had gotten up and moved and almost fell to the ground. And then I got in the bed and it was feeling like I was spinning. I got them to help me finish getting in the bed. And we thought it was Meniere's. I think it was a Meniere's attack, but it was off-kicked by the Rona. So, yeah. I I've got a stomach pacemaker and a port, and I'm supposed to get IVIG, which I haven't had now since last February because I'm in here and I can't get my IVIGs done in here, which really sucks because I don't think COVID would have taken me down if I'd been on my IVIGs. So, and there's side effects to those too. I'm not saying there's not side effects. I mean, for me, IVIG puts me down for a day or two. Day before and a day or two after, depending on how sick I really was when I took it. But I can eat without nausea, but I am with my port. I usually take 6 medicines every day by my port, but because of the inability to use my port, we're trying to do some orals, and the orals just aren't as effective for me because I have about a 12-hour stomach delay. So that's a kicker too. But it isn't. I'll explain what art abandonment is in 2 words. It's my salvation. It's my life. I guess more than 2 words, but it's my salvation. It's my salvation in that it gives me a reason to get up, a reason to do something, if a reason to create, to not lay in bed and give up, creating art and leaving it for others to find is one of the biggest pleasures in my life. And I know that there are pieces of art out there that haven't been found yet, and I can't wait till someone finds that. Yeah, it's true. Whatever gets you through. And art has been, I'm very spiritual, that art has been my outlet. And it really is tiring, but it's the best thing ever. So are you ready for the reveal? We're 30 minutes in. I haven't even done the reveal yet. I keep checking the live check to make sure. Yeah, that's what I was. Mitochondrial disease. Oh, man. All right, so here we go. Flip this around. And there is our lighthouse. I don't know if you can see. We put some windows, some grass areas around the top, like a little trail in the back of the mountain. Some clouds, some rocks in the water, a little sand on the beach, and some mountains. Little tunnel going there into the clouds. So that would be the lighthouse. What you think? Like I said, it's wet right now. It'll probably be wet all night. I don't know if you can tell. As someone knows this, if you can tell, I'll let this kind of... Can you see how my paint is not flat? If you notice, it's in layers. I guess you can really tell here. Cool. I'm glad you like it. That was yesterday's selection. So, I'm getting now that I'm seeing it through the camera, you can see the waves. I wasn't sure if you'd see the waves here, but you can see them. Don't touch the paint because it's still wet, Michelle. So let me show you. I'll move that out of the way. Oh, thank you. I was hoping it would do good. I worked really, actually spent a couple hours working on it in between therapy, so I'm glad you like it. Are you ready to pick out the picture for tomorrow? Using the same stack because I believe these are ones that I could work on. You know they're going to be with my modifications. So it's kind of cool. You see it before time and then you get to see it after. So you ready? Let's go. All right. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay. My camera got locked. So we've got the bridge, the elephant, the down under, the pasture, the farm, and the eagle. Do them again here real quick. Eagle, farm, pasture, there's I believe that might be an elk or a deer. The down under, the elephant, and the bridge. And let me see, I think you've spoken. And it is, if I'm not mistaken, we are doing the eagle. This is tomorrow's picture. Oh, there you go, the eagle. That's going to be a fun one to do. If you go and look at my photography that I posted on Our Abandonment, I have this series of wildlife. And if you like, you need to go look at that series. I went through and I showed my pictures that I've done and my photos. And I have some really awesome eagle shots. Some really good eagle shots. A lot of hawk photography. The coolest thing ever in the hawk photography is we followed the same set of hawks for about 4 years as they would nest and have their babies, and they had triplets, and usually one survives. The other two don't make it out. What was really cool is they had the first one and it released about the time the second one was about 2 weeks old. Oh yeah. Oh God, you gotta look at my hawk thing. Oh, it was so awesome. So the hawks were about a week before when the first hawk, it got mature enough to release out on its own. The little one was about 2 weeks old. So it still was being fed by the mom. So the mom was still like taking care of it until leaving it, which is usually what happens. And then as it was maturing, the third one hatched. And we think it was totally from a different set because it was like 6 weeks in between on the birthing. And believe it or not, the third one survived. So all 3 of those hawks survived. And we were able to figure out the nesting of all 3 of them. And we followed those siblings along with the parents because we were able to follow them, figure out where they nested for that winter. And so we had done that. And the female hawk, she was something else. Oh my goodness. And they got used to our photography. And so she would let us get 5 or 6 feet from the nest. And she would go and sit on a branch. She could still see it, and she could have got us in a matter of seconds. But she would sit over at the side and let us sit there and do our photography. And I have, if you look at the picture, there's one, I'm pretty sure it's in my hawk photography that's on our Abandonment. You have to go look. It's a whole wildlife series. But that hawk comes, I see it coming, and I turn my camera, and I take this photo, and that hawk is like, I had a 6mm lens on, like a little bitty tiny wide angle. It was like a big wide angle. And as that bird flew, I was able to catch it right at my air sight. Full wings expanded, and that sucker was like 2 feet from my face. Its wings just were floating like 2 feet from me. And it catches this squirrel, and I'm taking a picture of it catching a squirrel, and it flies up in the air and returns to a branch. And we got it with its talons holding that squirrel, and it killed the squirrel right there. We filmed the whole capture. And then it killed it, and then it carried it back to the nest. So then we followed the nest back, and it was, goodness gracious, it was a quarter mile from where the nest was. So we go back to the nest, and we watch it feed the babies. And so it was a complete capture. And then it was really cool because they were in a cemetery. And the guys that worked at the cemetery knew we would come and document these birds. So they would watch out, and they were like, hey, they've been up there. We're like, oh, we knew they were getting close. And they would keep an eye out on the nest for us. Oh, we seen one flying today. You better catch it quick. And we were in there every day with them, and we got to knowing their names. And we actually got so many different photographs in the cemetery of all the monuments. And I also put some of those out. I probably have a ton more of those that I can put out. And something about a cemetery is the peace and tranquility, and I think wildlife knows that. And we've gotten pictures of deer and fox and hawks and eagles. There's a set of eagles in Cave Hill Cemetery in Louisville. They come in every once in a while. Peacocks, deer, fox, all kinds of birds, great herons, coumarin, swans, tons of geese, ducks, mallards, wood ducks, and all kinds. And it just, there's like these 4 cemeteries. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 4 cemeteries, and they're all within a mile of each other. And so you running along these cemeteries is this. It goes from one end, and the Cave Hill is named after the caves there, and the river has an inlet. And an inlet, no, there's actually 5 cemeteries. I knew there was 5 cemeteries. I was saying 4, there's 5. That inlet runs through all 5 cemeteries. And so as wildlife move along that water range. It's really cool. So with the vote, this will be tomorrow's picture. Kind of excited. I've got some really good eagle pics. I wish I might try to pull those up and do a video just on the eagles that I have for tomorrow. If I can get them pulled up. Just depends how tired or whatever I'm doing. So, can you believe it's almost been an hour again? It's crazy. Once you get to doing these things, you can just stay on them and not even realize the time. I thought I would do it before dinner came. It's one of the easiest times. So I will do the eagle tomorrow. I'll show the lighthouse again so you can get a good look at it. Foxy, I'm going to have to figure out how to get you one of these prints. We're going to have to figure that out. I have to get an address from you. I just gave you that email address. If you're interested in getting one of the pictures, if you will send me your address, I'll throw one of these in the mail, plus a couple of little surprises. So, and you were talking about the beacon. Can you see how it's raised up? Like it's in layers. So, but, oh, that's cool. And then you can pick out which one of these you want. Or we can wait and do a couple more. You might want a couple of them. You're joining me on this journey. It took a lot. That's cool. Yeah. It is. It's neat. I'm glad you're joining me on this. What I plan on doing is getting back to doing some abandonment and getting the videos up. With my Meniere's disease, I don't drive. I have to have other people drive for me. My Meniere's is that bad. So, but I get a car, I have a car, and I can get people to drive for me. I'm hoping to get out of the nursing home no later than the 1st of March. I have everything I need. I need to get the transition team out. We're taking care of selling the car I currently have because I can't pay the car payment. I wish I knew someone that was going into van life that needed an awesome van. I've got a 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan. Not a scratch on it. Nothing in the inside with 31,000 miles. It is the perfect one. But, hey, hello. Well, I said I was waiting for dinner to come. Dinner just showed up. I guess I'll show you what I've got to dinner tonight. It looks like, I'm going to turn this around, a traditional meal of, I believe, chicken noodle soup. We'll look and see. Chicken and rice soup. A grilled cheese sandwich. Some crackers. They forgot my coffee. Coffee's missing. Some potato chips. And some kind of crumble cake. Everything's at my coffee. Oh, and I'm not sponsored, but another one of my herbal Lipton teas. So I'm going to jump off here, eat some dinner. Great talking to you. And let's see how early I get in here tomorrow. Just depends on when I get the painting done. So, as always, happy abandoning.